They are this shape for the LED daytime running. You can even personalize these buttons over here and around corners here. Again, that feels awesome to handle. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are driving the Honda ZR-V. This is the ZR-V e-HEV available in the New Zealand market. First thing, pricing for this vehicle is $55,000 plus ORC. That means $55,995 drive away for the New Zealand market. Currently, there's only this particular spec that's offered for the New Zealand version. We're going to have a tour for the exterior, for the interior. I'll tell you everything I know about this particular vehicle, and then we're going to go for a POV drive to see how this vehicle goes. Now let's have a quick look at the exterior. So the ZR-V is a little bit bigger than the Honda HR-V, and it's based on a different platform. This is more of a Honda Civic, but in an SUV shape. Very different look from the Honda Civic, of course. So this car sits between the Honda HR-V and the Honda CR-V, which is the bigger SUV. This is more of a medium-sized SUV overall. It is not huge, but it's not too small, definitely. The overall length of the Honda ZR-V is just under 4.6 meters. The width is over 1.8, the height is over 1.6, and the wheelbase is 2.65 meters long. So it is not a bad looking vehicle in terms of slopey roof lines and things like that. You can see the design marks over here. The wheel arch, everything is all body colored. There is window trims over here, black covers on the B and C pillar over there. Privacy glass is available for the New Zealand spec. At the front, we are getting a pair of LED headlights. They are this shape for the LED daytime running. Black grille underneath, Honda logo on the top. You can see the blue surrounds. That means this one is an e-HEV, meaning it's hybrid electric vehicle. At the front, the design language is kind of different from other Hondas. The grille is actually quite small, it's quite shrinked. Underneath, you are getting some air intake. On the side, we are getting 18-inch alloys for the New Zealand versions, and then there are 360 surround view camera plus the side view on each side. The petrol tank is over here. It takes 91 unleaded for the New Zealand market. Behind the tailgate, we are getting a power tailgate. So this is 370 liters for this particular volume. If you open this up, you are getting additional storage over here. There's some additional information over here. Open this cover, you are getting the tire mobility kit. There is no space saver, by the way. If you drop the rear seats to 40-60 split, you are going to get more than 1,300 liters of total boot volume. So that's not too bad at all. Now the tail light design is quite simple. They're just the twin tail lights. There is LED lights, of course, and then that's how it looks like. Honda logo on the top, Honda ZR-V, and e-HEV means this is an electric hybrid motor. Now, the door opening for the back is reasonably large, and seat base is quite long for the rear seat. Let's have a look inside. Sitting at the back, this has been set to my driving position at about 178 centimeters tall. I've got great amount of legroom, great amount of foot space. It definitely feels quite spacious. It's very similar to the HR-V in terms of space performance, although this car is a little bit longer overall. Let's close the door. Very solid. Feels good. The door material feels really good on this vehicle. Softer touch along the way, leather finish over here. Until you reach the speakers, they are plastic cover, which is quite standard across these vehicles. Pockets over here, 2 air vents over here, 2 USB-C charging, and then in the center, you are going to get a nice armrest. This vehicle comes with the standard leather seats for the New Zealand market. That's a really premium feeling. So overall, at the back, feels very spacious. I've got plenty of headroom as well. There is no sunroof on the top, by the way. Now the ZR-V comes with the standard keyless entry and push button start. The front is also, again, leather finish over here. Gray stitchings on the side, which they look alright. Seats-wise, it's very, very comfy. Electric adjustments is on the driver's side. Alright, this is how the interior looks like for the ZR-V. The steering feels really good, leather-wrapped steering, that feels nice. Cruise control functions over here, and some volume adjustments and track adjustments on the left. Pedal shifted behind the steering that allows you to change the regenerative braking on this sort of vehicle. It is not for gear change, by the way. Indicators and wipers are available. There is heated steering available. There's also heated front seats available. In front of us, that's a 10.2-inch dashboard. It has pretty much all the information. You are able to adjust a few things. On the right panel, you are also able to adjust the design for the dashboard if you wish to. So like this, you can change the gauge design to the round cruise. That means you get the traditional analog dial style. There is no head-up display, but this dashboard feels very, very clear. And then jumping to the center, this is the new 9-inch display for the Honda vehicles. Again, very solid infotainment system. It's very easy to use. You are getting quite a few adjustments to change a few things. You get all apps to look at everything. You can enable, disable a few things. You can push and hold and drag them forward and backwards or left and right to do whatever you like. You can even personalize these buttons over here underneath. So that's very easy. There is Apple CarPlay, which is wireless, and then there is Android Auto, which is a wired connection over here. There is 360 view camera. You can press this to engage. They look quite clear, not too bad at all. So overall, this infotainment system, very easy to get used to. You also have power flow that you can see your driving and things like that. And then underneath, we are getting air conditioning buttons. They are physical buttons and controls. Very nice, very, very nice to have that. Material and everything feels quite solid. It is very satisfying. Over here, we are getting the wireless phone charging pad, 12-volt socket, and then USB charging on each end behind the center console. 2 cup holders are reasonable, and center console are also leather wrapped, so feels really good. These are your gear controls. They are all push down buttons or pull up, push back buttons for the R reverse. Drive mode selection, you get sport, normal, and econ. Hill descendability, park hold, and brake hold is also available. Press this button, you get deep storage over here, center console, and then glove box is pretty good too. So overall, interior feels really, really nice actually. The cabin feels quite welcomed for the driver. It may not have the super flashy screens in the center, but everything is really easy to use, really easy to get used to. You should have no trouble getting used to this interior after a few minutes or after 10 minutes or after 20 minutes of drive. Alright, before we get in the vehicle on the road, let's quickly look at the visibility on the side. That's pretty good. There's a gap over here to see your giveaways. At the front, it's reasonable for all your views. On the side, that's not bad either. The rear windscreen is also reasonably large, so you're going to see everything at the back, even with people on the back seats. Now let's get it going and have a quick drive. So previously the ZR-V is also available in a turbocharged petrol motor, but now due to the emissions and even probably the customer choices, many buyers will choose this particular drivetrain, which is the hybrid. It's got the HEV hybrid drivetrain under the Honda brand. The ZR-V particularly come with the same hybrid drivetrain as the Honda Civic. It is powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder petrol motor. The petrol motor alone produces 104 kilowatts of power, 182 Newton meters of torque. It is not the strongest powertrain for the petrol motor alone, but do remember this is a hybrid. It comes with a very cool setup, Atkinson cycle electric motor, so actually 2 electric motors that's available. One actually powers the vehicle, sends power, sends torque. The other one actually acts as a generator that recharges the petrol motor or recharges the battery. So that's quite cool actually. The overall power for this vehicle is 130 kilowatts of power, 315 Newton meters of torque. So it's more than enough for what you need as a daily drive. Driving wise, it's really easy and really nice to drive. It comes with an e-CVT transmission. That means any speed at takeoff, it's relatively easy to control your pedals. Very smooth at the same time. It's got plenty of power behind this wheel for you to control, for you to move through the gears. Well, there's no gear change, but when you drive the vehicle, it does feel like there's a little bit gear change here and there. It does feel somehow quite sporty to handle overall. Now driving this around the city, this feels very, very comfortable. The suspension setup feels quite nicely done. It's somehow premium to drive, very nice to feel. You can feel the interior build quality is excellent on this sort of vehicle. The suspension setup is MacPherson at the front, Multi-Link at the back. So suitable for pretty much all roads around this vehicle. The cool thing about this vehicle is the acceleration is actually very swiftly. The petrol motor and the electric motor works really well together. The combined power rating or the fuel rating for this vehicle is 5 liters per 100 kilometers according to the manufacturer. On this vehicle, when I checked the odometer history, it reads about 5.1 to 5.3 liters per 100 k's. Again, that's not under my driving, but as you can see, and even under staff driving or under testing, this vehicle still feels excellent on the fuel consumption. Now, under normal mode, the pedal response is quite good, even under just the standard acceleration. It does feel like a little bit more sportier than some standard hybrid vehicles. The power and also the acceleration feels awesome, actually. Even the handling around the corners, the vehicle body control is really good. And around corners here, again, that feels awesome to handle. It does not feel like so big. It does not feel like a car that's over 4.5 meters long. It does feel like a small sporty hatch when it goes around corners, things like that. Around here, still feels nice. We're going to go to the sport mode, and there's a little bit of acceleration we can do over here. Let's see how that handles the road. All right, we can do a little bit of acceleration over here in the sport mode. Not full throttle, by the way, but that was about 80%. And the engine sounds awesome. Have to say that. And the engine sounds awesome even for a 2-liter natural aspirated motor. Power, very easy, and when you go up to a certain speed, it's so easy to control the pedals and things. That makes this car actually really dynamic. It is surprisingly very dynamic to adjust, to change, to drive overall. You can feel the body control and driving dynamic is just really good compared to any other small to medium-sized SUVs on the market. It's got really good, well-balanced steering. At the same time, it feels solid, but also it feels quite sporty. Like a family SUV shouldn't be this sporty, but at the same time, the ZR-V feels really nice. In terms of noise, on the motorway, you're going to get a small wind noise here and there, but the road noise is quite minimal. I know this microphone will pick up any noise around the cabins, but again, the most important thing on this vehicle is going to be the handling. The handling feels really good around corners and things. We haven't really taken on the country roads, but I'd assume this will perform really well. Do remember this is only front-wheel drive, there's no four-wheel drive available, but this feels really solid. Then the suspension feels good, even on the high speed. When you go through bumps, it rides very comfortably on the road. It doesn't feel that bumpy, it doesn't shake, it doesn't feel wobbly at all. And the pedal response is excellent too. Thanks to the EV motor, it is effortless to go up to any certain speed. And the sport mode in particular, it feels very responsive. We're going to shift back to normal mode just to give it a go. Another thing that's also available on this vehicle is the regenerative braking. You need to press the minus or plus to change your level of regeneration, but then after a few seconds, they will get reset. So that means you can't really have permanent regenerative braking unless you change the vehicle to sports mode. So only under sports mode, you are getting a permanent level of regeneration if you choose to have that. I think there's 4 levels available on this sort of vehicle. So in short, you probably don't use the regenerative braking that much, since it's a little bit annoying to do the pedals all the time unless you are going to keep the vehicle under sports mode. But I'm not sure if you saw that, even driving under about 80 to 90k, we're still driving on EV mode. If necessary, if possible, that means the vehicle can maintain its EV charge or can utilize its EV charge to get the best efficiency. So that's pretty much all about the Honda ZR-V. Overall, I think it's very impressive for the driving dynamics. The overall comfort, everything is really good too. The build quality from the interior is nice. The exterior design may be questionable, depends on your taste and things. But yeah, I like this car in terms of driving dynamics. It is not a cheap vehicle. $55,000 plus ORC is going to set the bar pretty high. But again, the driving dynamics does not disappoint at all. If you like something, a very efficient vehicle, but at the same time, you really want some sort of performance and handling out of it, this is the car you do not want to skip. And that sums up to our video for the Honda ZR-V. Do you like this sort of vehicle? Please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe and like. That's the best way to support the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.